Not that I ever schedule these regularly, but this is not a regularly scheduled stream. It's more I'm killing time before I have my lesson, and I don't want to play HOTS right now. A delightful and drizzly 25th of April, 2017, in the Common Era. So I've been playing Astroneer a bit. It's, yeah, I kind of like it. Let's see, pop out the chat so that we can get chat going for people. Not that anyone's ever here, but I do it anyway because I love you guys. I don't actually love you. It's just something to do. Pass the time until I pass on. But Astroneer a few days ago had a new patch where they messed with some stuff. They added in doohickeys that will let you use your terraformer differently. So that shit's just flying around right now. Cool. So that you can like paint words and things like that. And otherwise modify the shape of your thing. They also made the starting reticle smaller, and so that's what you're seeing there. I would show you what those modifications are that you can do with your stuff, but I have been playing this particular file for I think 4 or 5 hours now, and I have not gotten shit. Before the hotfix that enabled the printer in the vehicle bay and the rover by default, so that you didn't have to research them, I also hadn't found anything, and I had managed to research all of the vehicles without getting the vehicle bay, and I managed to research all of. Is my solar thingy working from over there? I bet it's not. I managed to research all of the printer, the stuff that you can print out, without being able to print anything because I hadn't researched the printer, and it was stupidly frustrating, like beyond frustrating. I had managed, however, to like in the end, right before the patch hit, get the vehicle base. So I was driving around in my truck. That was nice. That's where that video that I posted with the debris that flies straight the fuck at you. But basically, the experience is a bit miserable, in my opinion. But like whatever, it's just passing the time. But then the patch hit, and so like all my saves are gone, which is fine. It's still beta, and I hadn't really done anything I was pleased with because again, you couldn't find anything. And so now I just barely managed to research the storage thing, which is nice because it means I get to find more things whilst I'm out and about and bring them back to research and get air filters. I have gotten so many fucking air filters. And what's really frustrating is that I managed to get all those air filters and I still hadn't gotten the thing. I still hadn't been able to build any of my own. which was frustrating. This oxygen tank I did not build myself. I found it on a dead corpse. But that's okay. I mean, I don't really see the point of having a whole bunch of research things, a whole bunch of oxygen tanks. And then I did finally learn how to build my own air filter, which I suppose is handy in a pinch. And then I researched how to build the power cells, which is nice because it lets you... God, I hope this will pull. Barely. Because it lets you, you know, power up the van at night and stuff if you can find some compound, which is good. But the game, for some reason or other, didn't actually let me keep that bit of research, so I can't build it. And that is frustrating as all hell. Here's another good one. This beacon will be useful anyway, because I got, like, stupid lost before. Like, I was looking for stuff for, like, 3 hours. Not 3 hours, like, 30 minutes. Fortunately, I was in my truck, so it's not like I died. But, oh god, I can't flip that back. But it was really frustrating. And not fun at all. Here we can see the great physics at work, because that thing rolls basically just as well with wheels as without. So basically, like right now, the gameplay loop of Astroneer is you go out and you find plants, you pluck fruit off of them, and you hope that the fruit is the fruit of knowledge that you need. And invariably, it's not. You can say that there's moral in there, but there isn't. I was pleased to finally get the storage thing for my truck, which frustratingly is called the same kind of storage as the storage for just like in your base. And, you know, it would be nice if it had its own unique name, but that's something I assume will come in time, so I'm not going to worry about that, like, at all. And I don't know if these are new. Like, you can come up to these and just, you know, like, basically suck out... Here we go. Suck out an arbitrarily large amount of compound from this one. I've also found one for resin. Okay, come on, Sunlight. You can do it. Charge my shit. You can do it, Sunlight. See, this is when power cells would be nice. Come on. Oh my god. You can make it. You can make it. There we go. You can do it. So in my prior games where I was always... Oh god. It's fucking rocks. Where I was always basically digging underground to find more research nodes because they were like under the roots of every fucking plant. Now I am just driving around because they're in the top of the trees. I had thought about putting a battery on top of the truck, but I decided I wanted to be able to carry more research things. Same thing with bringing one of the 8-slot containers. Felt like that research would have been more. That those slots would be better used in carrying back more. Fucking rocks. More valuable. I mean, it's not really going to get me anything new. There we go. Take this. Stick it here. Go ahead, take the solar thing. Stick it here. That should be enough energy to get me everywhere I need to go. Especially because home is in sight. These energy blocks are a pain in the ass because if your game crashes, or if you just shut the game while you have one out, it's dead. Like, you can't consume it, you cannot use it, and so it basically just takes up space. Oh god, come on. You can make it. I'm glad everything is sturdy enough to just stay on. Okay, I think maybe this trailer that I'm dragging sucks with just a rover to pull it. Oh god, come on. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. Hopefully one of these will be the truck. It won't be. But one can dream. Okay. Like, what the hell was that? Why am I being dragged sideways? Because of these fucking rocks. Okay. This is my spare seat. I have it for when I finally learn how to build a truck. But this is the research loop. You go research shit, and then you don't get anything new. I mean, like, basically you don't get anything. My research shit fell off? Yeah, see. So basically, that was kind of a wasted trip because I went out and I got nothing. You could say it's like, oh, but look, you got all these raw materials and shit. But what do you want me to do with these? There is nothing to build. I could expand my base, and I guess that would be a thing I could do. Oh, here they are. Just my truck was flipped. But expand my base to do what? Expand my base to do more storage for all the shit that I'm getting? Well, basically. See what I mean? Research cells or power cells and shit. And I mean, power cells are useful. Don't get me wrong. What? Why? Stop charging my base. Oh, that's my little wind generator. My tiny little wind generator struggling to charge everything. But like, I found so many ore deposits that I haven't even bothered to investigate. I mean, I could trade for shit, but I don't need anything. I got this other vehicle slot here for when I learned the spaceship. So I feel like the shuttle's just a waste of materials and resources. I got my fuel collector, but I don't have any fuel because what would I put it in? I got this open platform here that I could build shit on, but it's like there's nothing to build. What can I build? I can build a fuel condenser. I already got one. I already got a printer. I already got a smelter. I already got a vehicle bay. I have 2 vehicle bays. I already have a trade platform. I already have a research platform. It's like there's nothing. Um, and really, I just made it so that I'd have another place to put uh, storage units. As far as construction, well, I can make battery, which is awesome. That's actually legit awesome. I'm happy about that. There's the habitat, but I already have one. And the habitat's really only useful for when you're trying to establish a new base on another planet. The winch is useless because I don't have a truck. The one-seater, well, I got plenty of those, or I could find more out there. Storage, sure, let's build storage. Let us build some shit over here. There. Look at how exciting that was. Drill head, it's useless. And I'm back to the battery. So, like, I even have the drill head, but what the fuck am I going to do with the drill head? I don't have a crane. So yeah, all this shit, useless. Fucking useless. Those on the habitat are working, right? Do these guys break? Oh, they broke. Bullshit. What's the point of that? Okay. Let's go ahead and put this on there. So that as I'm dragging my trailer around, everything's fine. One thing that kind of... well, maybe I can. Let's see. What happens if I put this on there? Oh, snap! Can I drive from here? No, I can't drive from here. But at least I can flip it upright, which is helpful. Sort of. So that is the entirety of the Astroneer gameplay loop right now. Go out, get resource materials, bring them back, and instead of research materials, not resource materials, and instead of getting anything useful out of it, don't get absolutely nothing useful out of it, and hope that the game doesn't crash. Before I had the storage unit on my back trailer, that was actually too much power to carry around because I'd fill up before I could get, um, before I use the energy that I was putting out, especially during the daytime. Because for the most part, the single little solar power thing is enough to keep you going. Is this where I stuck broken energy? Yeah, see, like this little energy cube, he's dead. He doesn't do me any good. So I would note, in kind of the big experimental thing down there, might give it away. Astroneer is still in beta or alpha or something. Um, it's a nifty enough concept, and it's also got co-op. So like you could, and a buddy could be out here doing shit and be insanely frustrated. Oh, hey, Destroys or Destroys or Destro. I will call you Destro. Um, yeah, I think it has a lot of potential, which is why I bought it. I actually did reach out to them and say, hey, can I get a review copy? But they never got back to me. But I'm not surprised because I have like tiny viewership. I'm just really, really frustrated with the changes that they've made to the research system, and and I don't think I'm going to give the current patch much more time, um, because I am getting so frustrated with it. I would also like better handling on the trailers, so it doesn't keep flipping. Most of the reason why I'm worried about the flipping is um, because stuff can get knocked off. Do I know much about game potential and the theory behind game design, or do I just play and review? I don't have like formal game design theory. I just have been playing games longer than most anyone who watches this is going to be alive, because I'm old and shit. Um, so any opinions that I have are strictly shit that I pull out of my ass, as opposed to anything that like people who teach game design will tell you. And there are going to be a lot of places where I'm going to be wrong, or places where I will disagree with academics. And this is really freezing up right now. There we go. So that's a long-winded way of saying I'm pretty much just talking out of my ass. And I would never claim to review, really. Although I do claim to review, so I guess I have to say that I do claim that. Um, I just have strong opinions about things. This one is nice banana fruit. Probably has like oxygen filters in it, but whatever. Also, welcome second viewer. and third viewer who appeared briefly and then left. Would you be willing to try my concepts out? Oh, so you are a game designer or programmer or something? And yeah, I'm pretty much always open to being a strongly opinionated person. Um, Little known story, because the review site that I used to write for got absorbed, but I got my first job reviewing games. Um, God, back in the '90s, because the editor could not put a sentence together to save his life, and so I basically told him he was shit, and he said, "Well, can you do a better job?" And I said, "Yes," and that's how I got uh, my only published, or I guess, what would you call it? My only job working for a game review platform. But they're now defunct, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, sure. If you want me to like be opinionated and tell you about stuff, I would be willing to do that. Although I'm curious, how did you stumble on this? That I do. I just don't really use it because I don't talk to many people. Oh, come on, game. You can process all this stuff. And I need to build a bridge. So, important note, when you're trying to run Discord, make sure that you spell it properly. Been wondering why it hasn't been running up, and that was why. I do not use Skype. I think I had a Skype account at one point in time, but um, it was just never really. It, I never saw the appeal of it. Come on, come on! You can find a nice plane in here. There we go. So this is one of the problems with the current version of Astroneer. It does not deal with alt-tabbing well. Do I have enough time? Yeah, why not? I have to close Astroneer anyway and restart it. How are you? Right now, I'm frustrated with Astroneer because it keeps crashing. Well, because like destroy Zor, destroy Zor. See now, if you just gone with Eyesore, that I mean that like makes sense. Fuck! This crashed again. Okay. Um, I got to the loading screen. Well, it's frustrating. It's only been since they did the patch. Oh, I do lots of complaining. Complain about all the things. Remember, remember, I'm a game reviewer. I don't have actually have to provide constructive criticism. I just have to provide criticism. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, doesn't mean I get to bitch about it. See, the problem is one of the first like open world. Well, yeah, I guess that would be Minecraft, but in the recent era, one of the first like open world type games that I've been messing with has been Subnautica, and Subnautica is fucking incredible. It's very well done in my opinion, and there's constant updates, and there've been constant updates for like an update every couple months for a few years. So there's never any sense that they just are trying to take the money and run. The work that they put into doing like videos about their patches has great music in it, and there's a lot of effort obviously being put into it. And I didn't need to build that bridge, did I? I could have just come over here. Um. Oh, and as disclosure, Discord does get broadcast over the stream. Okay, just well, I mean, I like to be upfront with this kind of stuff, so no one feels like they're gonna go off on a racist rant, and it's like, why did you say that? Well, I didn't realize we were broadcasting, bro. It's like why? What difference does that make? Why would you say that? But like, okay, well, whatever. Um, God, I am so lost now, and this is with beacons. Well, as I said, it like when I started the video, which I guess no one was here for yet. Like all I'm doing, I am now into the basic content loop of the game, which is go pick fruit, research it, be disappointed, and then go pick more fruit. Because they've changed the research system so that like each individual fruit has, I am so fucking lost. Well, um, has a chance to like to get you one research thing, and then after that it gives you a resource. So you have to find a whole bunch of different fruits, and new fruits are hard to come by. So how would you gate that stuff off, though? Yeah. Well, the experimental was to give the printer pawn back. That's why I switched over to the experimental build. No, no, it doesn't. I mean, uh, and the reason why it's see like because I'm old and I have lived through some shit video game wise. You know, just talking about that. I have played the old games where like they cut your dick off at the beginning of the game and say, okay, now go get someone pregnant, and it's like really, dude, I ain't got time for that shit. My frustration here with the research system is that like they want you to go do stuff, but then they don't give you the tools to do it, or they gate the tools behind such high tedium requirements that it's like what's the point even? So like having like all this other stuff researched, but you can't make any of it because you don't have the goddamn printer. Like then all that research that you've done is pointless. And I'm going in the wrong direction, aren't I? Or if you did want to have it so that you don't have the printer just by default, like make it so that that is the first thing that you research. I've seen a lot of discussion in the Reddit threads, like where there needs to be a research progression where you can choose what you do or don't research. Okay, see now then in that case it's fine because then you are adding a tiny little bit of progression and you're not adding frustration. Hmm. I recognize this. And I should have asked him what his stream was so I could link it in my description. Yay, I'm not lost anymore. Sweet. And I'm surprised that my trailer has not flipped. Okay. Research is over here. Sweet. Now, time for a stay at the Heartbreak Hotel. Yep. I'm not lost anymore. I'm not. I managed to find my place. Okay, that's cool. Why don't you give me your channel link and I'll put your channel in my description. So, yeah, why not? Because we're talking and you're now being part of the stream and interacting and shit. Oh, look, getting some research. I got the fucking truck. Oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, if you want to be one of those kinds of people, that's fine. I can't be bothered to fuck with Twitch. Because I've been making videos on YouTube. This is like my second YouTube channel. Back when I raided in WoW with my guild, we'd do raids, and then I'd make funny, quote unquote funny, like funny to me, um, uh, videos of our boss kills and stuff like that. And I just put it up there on YouTube, so well, not everyone, but anyone who wanted to see it could find it. So I just had so much already invested in my time with YouTube, it just wasn't worth my time to do other stuff. Oh, that's brave. What's awesome, I think, is that you have familial support to do it too. I mean, not just I assume not just monetarily, but they're being supportive. Yeah. Well, your dad then. We didn't have to go to a dark place for that, dude. I'm just. Yeah, yeah. Oh shit! I was gonna make a thing for my truck. So that's why I'm on YouTube. Is what I'm saying. What do you mean? Well, like raw power or batteries is those get prioritized um, by proximity, and it will always charge the platforms first before it charges storage. So like here I've got I'll put a battery on like like this guy right here, and then I'll put another battery way over here, and you can watch where the power flows to. It's all going to the smallest one, it looks like. Okay, well then fuck it, I don't know. But I do know that power will go the shortest distance possible first when it's charging stuff up. And once power has been supplied to a trade facility, then um, it'll just stay there. It won't drain back into the batteries. Um, I put them wherever I have space. No, no. I There are some places where the generators don't like to work. Like if you put generators on your habitat, I find that they're a little bit wonky and don't always want to work. If you put them on these upright storage platforms, they don't always want to work. But if you put the storage platform where it can lay flat, then it'll be fine. Um, so I'm not always sure. I think that's just part of the bugginess in the system so far. It could be. I mean, for the most part to me, it does feel intuitive. It's just, um, it can just be a pain sometimes. Like for instance, when you have oxygen and power cells, like oxygen filters and power cells, so the ones that you construct out of compound, you'll always consume those before you consume raw power, and I don't know if I like that. Also, before you use an oxygen filter, it will first drain your oxygen tanks, and I don't know if I like that because how it makes that decision of where to draw stuff from is kind of frustrating in that it feels inconsistent a lot of the time. Hmm. I tend to agree. Oh, hello, Phase Nazir. Sorry if I am inattentive to that. I am uh, not always looking at that stuff, I'm afraid. Okay, so I pretty much doubled my storage, and now this shit's gonna be hard as hell to line up so that I can uh, connect my truck to my trailer. Oh, but then you have people that want to be able to build things however the hell they want to build things. And, you know, you say that, and yet the I mean, like I have an issue with the like claw hand, so to speak, when I'm trying to flatten stuff out or raise things. I would prefer toggles for a lot of the stuff here. Let's There we go. Yeah. Hello, Tursik. I would attempt to pronounce your first name, but Kirmizi, maybe. I would mangle it far worse than you deserve, and so I'll try not to do that. And George Karastas. Should I have so many people viewing today? It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That, like I said, being part of why I was so willing to link to your, I guess, Twitch or YouTube if you wanted. Let me drag that out. PM on what platform? Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Copy link. Link to iSource's Twitch channel in the description. There we go. And welcome Toby and Zari. I could actually go back to Discord and look at it more closely. Okay. You said eyesore. You even like implied it that way. Like the things aren't good. You're just gonna destroy shit. There, there. Let's just hope it updates. I don't know. Stupid smaller monitor. There we go. I'm just gonna pray that it updates properly. So, I'm going to draw a horrible comparison and seem like a bad person. One thing that it reminded me of immediately is No Man's Sky. Because when you... Oh, well... We'll see. But with No Man's Sky, like, when you get in your spaceship and you fly out into space, like, you just get in your spaceship and you fly out into space. And the same thing happens here, and as you fly up and out, you do get that scale that you're talking about. You see, where everything is and where you were, and you can look down at stuff. You can find your base on the planet, so, which I think is fairly impressive. And No Man's Sky like had that too. They just, well, they, yeah, they just kind of fucked everything else up. I feel like it's more just the dude had no concept of how to say no, because virtually everything that they asked him, can you do this? He said yes. I have not seen all of the interview footage, but I cannot think of a single instance where I can't even think of what his name is anymore, ever said, no, you can't do that. when they said, are you going to be able to play with other people? He said, yeah. When they said, are you going to be able to like see them if you guys are on the same planet? It's like, well, yeah. And like just even the idea that in a universe as vast as what they were suggesting, that people would randomly ever intersect. I mean, the probability of that happening should effectively be zero. So I don't know, man. I don't think it's so much that he had a huge team of people doing stuff for an incompetent. They just were working for someone who didn't know how to say no. Oh, in retrospect, I don't believe that any of their gameplay footage that they showed was real. I think that it was all shit that they did and programmed and designed and said, "Oh yes, this is actually Planet Colbert, and we're exploring this in real time." I think all of that was bogus. But I also might be bitter because I pre-ordered it. People wiser than me. I like that there's that Milky Way type look. As I look up, there's a definite band of thicker stars, and that does provide a lot of ooh and ah value to me. And I think I got room for one more, but there's two more. There's three more. There's four more. Crap. I'm not sure I know what you're talking about there. I haven't done a lot of interstellar stuff, so I might not have a good grasp on what that wait time is like. Oh, I haven't noticed that. I've the little bit of interstellar stuff I've done, I basically just like that planet looks interesting and clicked on it as soon as it's come in range, and never thought about it again. So I haven't had that experience yet. Um, okay, so Zari asked about Planet Base, and yes, I started playing that back when it first came out, and because it has that base building aesthetic, and with a little bit of populace, in that you just kind of tell people what you need to have happen and do it. Um, and a lot of why I was interested in it was because the pathfinding algorithms were interesting. Um, but also very frustrating because you could create like situations where people would die of exhaustion, um, or starvation trying to go get something to eat. So I didn't play that for as long as I necessarily wanted to. Sorry. Oh god, I'm lost again, aren't I? Yes, they do pull energy together. Only the one that you're driving actually uses energy, but it will use all the attached energy sources as a battery. That's why you can do stuff like I can take a power thing and stick it on the butt, and it'll charge this up. There are people that have taken like chains of trucks to connect like two different bases on a planet. Well, so trucks have this tether that connect them. Just like trucks have. I'm stuck. There we go. They have this tether here that you. There we go. So this blue thing acts as a power cable, and if you have like two people on the same planet, or if you like fly up and then land on a different part of the planet, it will create two bases, and you can connect their power supplies with a chain of trucks. These tethers here, um, I don't know if they'll transfer power between bases. They used to power trucks back in, uh, you know, an earlier patch, but they've stopped doing that. Also, when you're driving all around here, and like, unless there was a way to get, your truck to just drop tethers for you, that'd be a big pain in the butt, man. Making tethers all across the planet. Okay, that was a cave that I was going to look into. Um, I'm lost again. Mm-hmm. Ah, fuck. That's not the right way. How the hell did I get over there then? Is that when I was still walking? I think that was when I was still walking. Oh my god, I'm trapped in my truck. There we go. Yeah, the game has a hard time keeping track of them all. Um. Well, I think that for me personally, the issue with the tethers and like tethering bases together to share power, I think that was more people doing it to see if they could, rather than there was some type of necessity for it to be done. Um, because you know, players are quite inventive and like think of all kinds of weird shit nonstop. Um, let's see. This is garbage. Um, but like for my own play, to me, the value that tethers provide when I'm above ground is it lets me know where the hell I am and how to get back to my base. Because I know that if I keep following my tethers, I will eventually get to my base. So I would not want them underground. What I would want is just better navigation. Because I can't believe that we're in a system where we can fly all over the fucking universe, but I don't have a satellite in orbit that tells me where I am. Especially when we know that there are people in orbit, because I can send up a trade platform, a trade rocket, and get something back. What, the GPS aspect, or the fact that there are other people out there? Yeah. Even if it would have to be something that you built and researched. Like you got to go find the research things, and then you eventually launch a satellite, and it would have to be something that you do like on every planet. Oh my god, I'm going to have researched all the things that I just went out and picked up and not gotten anything. Per planet. Or maybe you have to like construct them, and the materials are harder to get, like a bunch of titanium or something like that. Well, yeah. Finally. Hmm. Again, I get crap. The crane. What am I gonna do with the crane? Nothing. I don't need resources. Look at my base. I have all of these storage platforms covered with all of this shit. I don't need I don't need resources. Like like uh, I'm trying to think now. What am I trying to research? What is it that I'm looking for? Um I want to be able to build my own power cells from compound, because I just do. And I want to build the wide or and narrow augments for my terraformer. Not because I particularly want to build or augment anything. It's just like the principle of the matter. And like that's it. I mean, I'm not playing a lot of Subnautica right now because I feel like I'm pretty much done with it for the current patch. Pretty much like once I build a Cyclops and explore anything else I want to explore, like like what else is there to do right now? Except there's a lot of story stuff in Subnautica now with it that I don't want to spoil for myself. Um, but you know that game's loop of swim around, and setting everything up is very satisfying to me. It's just I'm I've not much left to do with it, so I've been giving that a break. And in this game now, I feel pretty much like there's not really anything to do. And again, like the things that there are to do are so frustrating that I don't know if I want to do them much longer. So, well, no, go ahead and finish. I'm sorry, and I'll retort later. And that is my retort. The building in this game is a pain in the butt. Building walls is a pain in the butt. Building, you know, base building is in the sense of building like an external structure to house all of your stuff is a pain in the ass. And incidentally, one of the things I enjoy doing a lot in Subnautica is just building the pipes and preformed buildings that you can. And in this game, I would love to do it. It's it's just not enjoyable to me at all. That is a claim I will never make about games. Is the whole they could do this really quickly argument. See, now there are interesting things in math that argue against that. And this is again something I know because I'm old. When Doom first came out, Doom simulated its 3D space using an interesting technique that was really allowed by the fact that they did everything in polar coordinates, not rectangular. And that difference allowed them to fake the 3D that they did. I mean, yeah, I mean it wasn't really a very good fake because you could tell that, you know, if something was up, you just shot up. But that coordinate system that they use of polar versus rectangular would have meant that doing a, you know, the grid system like you suggest would have fucked everything up. I'm not at all implying that the developers of Astroneer are using a polar coordinate system for what they're doing. Certainly not one based around the player. But, you know, a lot of times there's stuff under the hood that just makes things a lot more challenging than you might otherwise expect. They may be working on other stuff. Or eating tacos. They're the ones in Seattle, right? Or am I confusing them with another beta game I'm playing? No, I think the Astroneer devs are in Seattle. Well, because they said that they recently got new offices and they had pictures. If it's these developers, um, that they got new offices in Seattle, and based on the photos of the building and out the windows, I mean, I know where they are because I live in Seattle. Mm-hmm. I don't know enough about the programming aspect to argue with that on any level other than to point out that I've seen some weird shit, and so I don't know enough to argue with that. Which was the whole intent behind my story about Doom, is that I've seen, you know, I've looked into some systems, especially Doom, because, you know, Carmack gave us so much information about how he designed it. So I've looked into that because I was able to, and I just don't know enough about how people do things that that I that those are not arguments I ever feel comfortable making. Well, yeah, I mean, because dude, you know, I'm not going to claim that like, you know, because I'm certain that there are going to be people who are raging about the whole painting things, like, oh, they wasted all that fucking time on painting when they should have been fixing this. It's like, well, those are different projects, and my truck is stuck. Ah, fuck, there we go. You know, I don't know how people do shit. I just play the games, and you know, if there's feedback that I can offer, then I do. Well, in as much as Mojang is no longer Mojang and they're now Microsoft, um, I'm okay with people treating them unfairly because Microsoft has enough money to throw like everything and anything, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're not doing stuff for Minecraft because they want to ensure whatever they're coming up with is Windows/Xbox specific as opposed to them putting it out on every platform known to man. Though interestingly, there is Minecraft coming out for the Switch, but um, a lot of things that people don't understand when they compare mods to the game is that there is an enormous difference between the cosmetic stuff that people who are doing mods do or just extending the capabilities of the game with actually like generating new and interesting game content. And I need to go get more power. This view right here, or which one? Yeah, like I said, I like to know how to find my way home. One thing that I'm glad that is the case right now, but that I also find kind of lame, is the implementation of oxygen. Because I mean, you either have it or you're screwed. And there's no middle ground. There's no generation. If you have a truck with you, you have infinite oxygen. If you're exploring underground and you're doing it sensibly, like by your base and stuff, um, it's the same thing. You oxygen doesn't add anything interesting to the game. Well, it's not even so much micromanaging. It's just put down more tethers and everything's okay. And then other than the part where the game gets frustrated by having to keep track of too many tethers, there's no penalty to just making an arbitrarily large number of tethers out there. Oh god, this research system is frustrating. Oh boy, bunch of copper, bunch of nothing. What happened to my solar panel? Did I leave it behind? Crap. Yeah, I'm just having a lot of frustration with the current system. Uh, I have no idea what that is. So, nope. I can Google it real fast. Okay, I will take your word for it. No, before I was, Zurin had asked what I was looking for, and I assume in response to me looking in something else I typed into chat where I was trying to find and make sure that I knew what planet base was, and that I wasn't confusing planet base with something else. Mm-hmm. It it doesn't sound very. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty cool. Now, does Swiftly know that that's what happened? Oh well, shit, dude! Congratulations, man. And into college. Oh, but that's not why we do things, is it? It's not for money. It's for the love of the art. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, I say that as sitting here at 5 viewers for like over an hour, which is I think my highest and longest sustained viewership ever. So, why would your stream crash with views? That's weird. Well, all I can say is you know, yeah, man. I mean, streaming wise, my depressing thing is a couple years back, an MCN, say, like, hey, do you want to be part of our network? And I'm like, sure, I don't care, and I need power. So I basically said, okay, I'll stream with you guys, and they basically didn't do anything for me for years, and they just dropped me. And when I said, "Hey, you guys dropped me. What's up with that?" They said, "Well, you have too many copyright strikes and community guideline strikes." And I'm like, "Bitch, please! I've never had any community crap ever. Yeah, Well, I mean, yeah, I don't really have much of a community, but I've never had any community guideline strikes, and I've disputed virtually all of my content ID strikes, other than Nintendo, but fuck them. Um, so like this is bullshit. Are you guys just pissed off that I have like 100 subscribers, or what? Um, oh yeah, sure, dude, go for it. Um, yeah, shit, dude, I ain't gonna complain. I mean, if I were really, uh, like in it for the whole money thing, I made sure to have monetized this, but I don't think I remembered to. Um, but I literally think they just dropped me because I had low subscribership numbers, and that's it. Because when I went to their website, they said you can apply to be with us if you have more than 500 subscribers, and I don't. So I think that's what happened. Oh, did I research something and didn't notice? What the fuck did I research? The narrow mod. I don't want that one. So I had to go through the whole AdSense process because I never bothered to do that ever. And then just the monetization happened when um, when Scale Lab started doing stuff for me. But I did that. I'm thinking, well, shit, if Scale Lab thinks that I'm sketchy or whatever, then I might have problems. But I got approved by AdSense instead of in a week, within like a day. So all my videos are monetized again for all the good that it does me. I know how that is. I am what you might call a pensioner. As in, I literally live off of a pension, so. Oh god, that's starting to freeze again. But I am going to have to be ending the stream soon because I have some crap I got to do outside the house. So for those of you guys that have sat through me for however long, I appreciate your viewership. Sadly, YouTube doesn't tell me who any of you are. And it was very pleasant chatting with you, Eyesore. If you want to send me download links or whatever to your games for me to check out, I would be happy to do that. Yeah, that's cool. Are you gonna? Is it like cool if I put videos of them up and stuff? Okay, now keep in mind, this has been one of my best streams ever. So, like, I there's no huge amounts of exposure that you'll get for this, for which I. Well, I'm just saying, I'm not promising anything like at all. So, but I think once I get this situated, I'm gonna close the game and end the stream. And yeah, I guess since we're closing, I'll do the whole begging for subscribers thing and liking and all that kind of shit that convinces YouTube to show my stuff to more people, so that I can get this to pay for my games. Because that in the end is my goal, is to have my gaming habit pay for itself. So have a lovely day, everyone.